Welcome to the Scalpel of Truth podcast, the members-only inner circle club for VIP bachachos, with your host, Leisa Krauss, the bitchin' beautician, also known as the Profit Queen. And don't worry, the cursing and salty language is already included in your club fees. As a business consultant with over 30 years in the industry, Leisa is a no-nonsense profit strategist, international speaker, motivational sales trainer, and thought leader. Known for her bold, unapologetic style, she coaches med spa owners, managers, and providers all over the world to become high-end profit powerhouses. Her practice growth strategies are sharp, her stories even sharper, and her panache for bringing the spice, the sharpest. So get ready to transform your practice into a wildly successful luxury brand. Buckle up, bachachos. Leisa is about to slice and dice another episode of The Scalpel of Truth.
Welcome back to the Scalpel of Truth, where we cut through the bullshit in the medical aesthetics industry and actually talk about what makes you money. I'm your host, Leisa Krauss, aka Leisa the Bitchin' Beautician, your profit strategist, your no-nonsense guide to building a clinic that does not just look good from the outside, but actually performs. Today, folks, we are talking about something that's either going to make you a serious amount of money or quietly bleed you dry, and that is your vendor relationships. Here's the legal part I need to read. This podcast is presented solely for educational entertainment purposes. Guys, I'm just your beauty business bitch. I'm not a licensed therapist or an HR representative, nor am I a lawyer. This platform's used to share my experiences with what's made me a successful service provider, a manager, and a business consultant for those who I coach. Got it? Beautiful. Not just skincare, not just injectables, not just devices. I'm talking about every single vendor you bring into your clinic and how that either turns into a powerful growth engine or a very expensive mistake. Because here's what most of you are doing. You're not building partnerships you're being sold to. And listen, vendors are tricky. They're polished. They're persuasive. They are well trained. And yes, they all want to sell you something. That's their job. But your job is not to just keep saying yes at everything. Your job is to lead the relationship. Because if you don't, you're going to end up with a clinic full of things that don't talk to each other. You've got skincare lines that overlap. You've got injectables that your team isn't fully trained in. You got devices you finance that aren't being maximized. And a team that's standing there trying to piece this shit all together in real time with a patient. That is not a strategy, that's chaos, and chaos does not convert. So here's the shift that you need to make. You're not buying products. You are buying and building an ecosystem. Your skincare protects your investments. Your devices creates the transformation. Your injectables refine and maintain. And your vendors should be supporting that entire journey, not fragmenting it. So when those pieces are aligned, your patient experience elevates. Your conversions end up going up. Your revenue becomes predictable. And when they're not, your business is going to feel clunky, inconsistent, and exhausting. So now let's talk about the bonus that most of you are completely missing when it comes to vendors. A strong vendor relationship, when done right, is actually one of the most underrated growth strategies of your practice. The right vendor is not just a supplier for you, it's an extension of your team. They should be able to help train your staff so they're confident and educated. They should be supporting your events so that you're not carrying the full financial and creativity load. They should be able to bring you insights on what's actually performing in the market. And they should be able to help you sell what you already have. So if your vendor relationship is transactional, you are leaving so much money on the table, it's not even funny. But here's the catch. That only happens when you set the tone. Because if you walk into that relationship passive, you will be led, you will be pitched, you will be upsold, and you will end up with more than what you need and less of what's actually going to work for you. Strong partnerships are built with clarity and expectation. Before you bring on any vendor, you need to know exactly how they're going to fit into your business model. Not just what they're selling, but how it integrates into your treatment and your service menu, your patient journey, your pricing, and your long-term revenue strategy. And really, when you sit down with them, whether it's skincare, injectables, a device company, you need to stop thinking like the buyer, okay? You need to start thinking like the CEO. You are going to be negotiating more than price. You're negotiating training. You're negotiating ongoing education, event support, marketing assets. You're negotiating access to product and treatment for your team so they can actually experience what they're selling. Because confidence doesn't come from a brochure. I'll tell you that fucking much right now. It comes from experience. If your team has never touched it, never used it, never seen results themselves, they won't sell it properly, period. And this is where so many of you are missing the mark, especially with devices and injectables. You sign the contract, you get the machine, you do the basic training, and then you're left wondering why things aren't performing. It's because you didn't build that relationship. You made a purchase. So clinics that win are the ones that leverage their vendors continuously. They bring them into team trainings. They involve them in the event planning. They use them as a part of that growth strategy versus the supply chain. What you're not going to do is take that business mapping advice from your vendors. They will give you some marketing advice. I don't want you to take business advice because a lot of them do not have the background to be giving you that advice. They've either heard it from a podcast, heard it at a conference, it's secondhand. They're not in the business of building your business from a business standpoint. They're there to sell you tools for the business. Now, I want to be very clear about something. The vendor is not responsible for your success, but they can absolutely accelerate it when they're used properly. For those of you inside the inner circle, this is where we take things to the next level, because now we're going to get into exactly what you need to structure these relationships in order for them to actually work for you. We're going to talk about how to choose the right vendors, how to cut ones that aren't performing, and how to create clear expectations so you're not being oversold or undersupported. So we're going to go over how to negotiate properly when you're investing in a device or injectables. So it's not just that you're getting equipment, you're actually getting a growth plan with that. We're going to break down how to onboard your team with every single product, treatment, injectable that it's positioned with confidence and clarity, and how to use your vendor support when it actually is going to be able to drive you revenue, not just fill a room. Because right now, a lot of you have vendors, but you don't have partnerships. And partnerships are where the money's at. So if you're ready to clean this up, tighten your strategy, and actually make vendors work for you instead of the other way around, then you need to be inside the inner circle. So to join the inner circle, you head to scalpeloftruth.com to get signed up. It is less than what you're spending on Starbucks every single month. In fact, you'll spend more money at Starbucks in a week or one visit than what you'll spend in building your business with the inner circle. I don't want you stepping over dollars to try and pick up dimes here. You're leaving a ton of money on the table. So invest that $19.99 a month to get profit strategies and get inside what's going to scale your practice. And for those who are already in the inner circle membership, you know what time it is. Let's go.
Don't want to wait to see things stay the way they are.